We'll definitely have to see. You can see they're grouping up, though, over on the side of Meta4Pro, kind of keeping 4 people over in the area, trying to secure up these runes. But it's like the opposite story, or rather similar story on the other side of the map. As you can see, they're also grouping together.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the Tide Shadow Shaman lane. I actually think this is one of the stronger lanes at the moment, especially into Wraith King. This hero, we say it ad nauseum. You have 2 armor on Wraith King. You're pretty fragile at the early stages. A level of Gush and just Shadow Shaman's right clicks as well. There's so much burst damage. Gush 110 damage, -4 armor. Shadow Shaman nuke 140 plus the right clicks. It's actually quite a strong lane to shut him down. So I want to see them play extremely aggressive down here.
But how much of that is going to backfire if they go overly aggressive, right? Because if they start to, just put forth too much of that aggression and they end up losing, it's pretty scary. Like, this is a Wraith King. This is Ace on the Wraith King on top of that. And they don't really have great solutions for it.
Tidehunter is kind of a solution, actually, though. Like, people really like the Tide in lane versus him because it just, in every aspect, it does just great, right? Like the armor, as we mentioned, the Anchor Smash is always good too later on when the skeletons are out, and you're just straight physical damage. So I just want to see them play good. Not dive tower, but definitely get aggressive because CM can't back up the Wraith King too much. He can just push out the waves with the nuke.
Well, I can see in the top lane, do have a courier snipe right off the bat. Vicious Love is going to be without some items for a little bit as Gilgear's doing what a Nyx Assassin does best early on.
Yep, they even block the hard camp. We see the Eidolon from Rasmus blocks that, while Gilgear blocks the small camp with his boots, just messing with that Ogre. And yeah, this Riki, he's going to get some last hits, like some decent last hits up here, but I'm worried about them even killing Eidolons. Double melee heroes. Riki can clean up a couple of them with his Blink Strike, but I feel like they're going to get a lot of farm denied up here for this poor Riki, which never feels good.
I'd also say that the harass is just super good too. I mean, the fact that when you have a good Nyx Assassin player, right? Just a little bit of harass over onto Captus. But when you do have a really good Nyx Assassin, you're never just going to see, a casual stun toss out. It's always usually going to have at least one other person tied up with it when they get that perfect angle. And that can just be really annoying when you're trying to go and get that CS. Bottom lane, though, it's like you said, Fogged. A lot of damage coming out from the 2 of these heroes.
Gilgear again, body blocking the small camp. We see the Eidolon for the 2nd minute, blocking the hard camp top. So they're doing what they need to do to make sure that they can restrict the farm. And Gilgear gets his 2nd courier kill. Okay.
It's the assassin, Assassins of couriers, assassins of heroes. It's anything. If it bleeds, he can kill it. This middle lane is feeling awful for this Void Spirit when he's faced off against Alina. Oof.
Yeah, it's just a really tough lane. It's one of the best heroes in the game to actually deal with that Void Spirit in mid. And he's playing versus some counters, as the panel talked about. He's playing versus Nyx, but also at the end they were mentioning, look at all the disables that are on Hellbear Smashers. Every single hero has a stun, which I love to see when you're playing versus a hero like Void Spirit. These elusive, annoying heroes.
Top lane, another Impale coming off from Gilgear. Doesn't quite land over on low skill, but just getting harassed a bit. Yeah, I'll be interested to see, too, when we get the 4-minute runes or the 5-minute bounties, if we start to see, any rotations trying to mess with either, Zactyl or Stormstormer here. Just because I feel like, I'm sure the Void Spirit could definitely use a gank, right? And the Lina, of course, it's fairly easy when you have so many disables lined up already.
Yeah, I'm sure the supports will go. They have to both check it out. They both have boots as well, too. I think on the side of, yeah, Captus has the boots, is also the Nyx Assassin, so they'll both check their according runes in the next 30 seconds or so. Bottom, they've actually done a good job on this Wraith King. I thought they were going to get pressured a lot more. They're getting some nice side pulls off. They're pushing the lane out well with the Crystal Nova. And yeah, he's not getting slowed down in farm, which I really thought this Wraith King would get a lot more bullied from Shadow Shaman Tidehunter.
I mean, we saw the power of it early on, but they just haven't been able to get as aggressive, I believe, as you would like to see them, yeah?
Yeah, it's really just a good job from the Crystal Man. He's just nuking the wave out, so it's really far forward, and they get the side pulls, and then the Shaman can't go for plays.
Oh, I like
Captus is smoked. They're actually looking for the Lina.
I like this. Go, and won't actually follow up with any more disable, but they do manage to get the Arcane Rune for Zactyl, so he's got to be very, very happy about that. Interesting that they opted for the smoke there, too.
Yeah, Captus, I guess, like you said, he wanted to try to get a kill. He wanted to be sneaky on that Lina, but not quite enough, especially with Gilgear rotating toward the mid. And already a 1k advantage for Hellbear Smashers, just off the laning start. Just from last hits in general. The mid lane is going obviously poorly for the Void Spirit, and Bottom is even, where I thought that Meta4Pro would be actually taking over the lane a little bit here. So yeah, very good stuff coming out for Hellbear Smashers. All 3 lanes going well.
See, and we have a little bit of stacking, I think, going on. Nope, not stacking. It's just creeping over on the side. But Crystal Maiden a little bit out of position here. Does get slowed down. Ace is here, though. Is going to be able to protect his support. Throw out one of those stuns. Has the boys. Need to be careful, though, Tofu. Your Wraith King's got his eyes over here on the prize. He wants that 5-minute rune. And he's able to grab it,
Tofu?
but CM is taking so much damage. Does have, of course, you know, the Frostbite. So you can see the little taunt coming out. Plus the slow as Ace comes right back in again with the Wraithfire Blast. And, you know, there's no Shadow Shaman here to save you. There's no one to protect you right now. Okay, there it is. There's the Shackles. They need a little bit more damage. We've got the Mango on the Crystal Maiden if she wants to try to go for anything. But looks like they're just going to allow him to walk away. As
And
yet
Gilger gets
another
courier
goes down.
Gilger. The actual assassin.
And you gotta cancel out the clarity too. Oof.
These wands are really paying dividends bottom. I think that's actually the thing that's making the difference for them down bottom as well, is they both just got such early wands. So every Anchor Smash, every Ether Shock just ends up being a little bit of a benefit for them. And Ace went for the early Chainmail we've seen so often versus these minus armors. So yeah, bottom, some good item decisions. As we see, Rasmus goes for something that was very popular last patch in particular. He's going for the book on the Enigma.
Book is just
Still
so
a really
strong.
strong item, and it sounds really good versus a Ricky lineup too.
Yeah, it does indeed. Zactyl, though, being a good mid player, gets yet another rune. I think that's his second one so far.
Being a good mid player.
That's what, yeah, you know, that's what Neff always says. He's like, if you're a good mid player, you're always gonna get the rune, Moxie. Despite the fact, you know, it is indeed a 50-50 chance. I like to tease Kyle about that because he always gets very heated about those runes. Just like, be a better mid than Kyle. Easy.
I love the Kyle communication too. He's getting every rune. Well, Kyle, should we kill him? Should we do something?
Oh, poor guy. He's not even in this cast and we're still teasing him.
Slight tease, slight tease. He'll be all right.
Another courier. All right. That time going the side of the other assassin.
Wait, what killed that one though? That was neutrals, wasn't it?
That was neutrals?
Or creeps?
I guess it must have been, yeah.
Where did his courier die?
It wasn't the Nyx assassin this time.
I think he just died to neutrals.
Gosh, that's some bad luck, man. We gotta take away their couriers. They're not protecting them. Gotta call the ASPCA.
I saw yesterday as well, like 3 couriers died to creeps when I was watching. It was pretty great. It just, something happens in some of these games. People just reckless.
It's weird though when it just happens to be, you know, the same game with all of the same types of courier deaths.
Yeah, Zactyl. Stormstormer was thinking about going on him there, but he's got the ward mid, so he sees Keptus wrapping around on him. He's got to be a little careful.
They're going to harass the Tidehunter while this is going on, knowing that they don't have the other support here to help out. So Tofu doing a great job. Do have Ring of Health gone, though.
Yeah, I guess he's just going for a straight tanky hood kind of build, since there's so much stun and magic damage that is going to be coming out from it. And he actually didn't skill the Ravage at 6. He actually skilled Kraken.
They're going to be able to maybe find a kill on Vicious Love up here in the top lane. Again, Zactyl, double damage rune. He's just too good with knowing where these runes are going to be. So they'll get the first blood, but they'll be able to find themselves a kill on Tofu in the bottom area.
Oh, top Ace actually makes a rotation. They've got a sentry in lane too.
Oh, this is not looking good for low skill. They needed just a little bit more damage. A crit coming through. Nope. They don't have the vision. They drop another ward over here, but low skill, just going to try to teleport out.
Okay, he TP's bottom with a Ring of Health. He only has 200 HP, but his team is down there, and Ace did make the move up top, so this actually is a pretty cool move. Rather than going to base, he's being able to stay on the map and continue pressuring. Might die for it if they do see. They are making the move with Gilger at least, and they're probably going to rotate the Lina. I think Stormstormer is going to set up. But his TP's actually on cooldown. He's going to have to run if he wants to on the Lina.
Yeah, I don't think he seems interested. I think he seems like he wants to put some pressure on the mid tower. You've got, you know, 3-4 heroes in the bottom lane, and you're putting damage on 2 different towers. I think you're really happy if if you're Hellbear Smashers.
He's just gonna go for he had the line initially drawn, but I think they made the executive call when, the Void Spirit shows up too. They just decide to, pressure 2 towers, and now Ace is gonna be able to take over the enemy jungle, and CM's gonna meet toward mid. They might be able to get a kill even on this Ogre.
I think they could, but they are backing off now that the Void Spirit's making this rotation, so. But look at the damage. You've lost your tier 1 bottom, okay, but you were able to take the tier 1 top. You've got a lot of damage over in the mid lane. I think you're perfectly content with this.
Absolutely. Ace is able to just take over the top jungle completely now, and he's a hero that farms. You know, he's always going to have that faster farm pace than a Ricky is, as low skill is just going to try to get as much as he can down bottom. And this is that time where I feel like Hellbear Smashers can dictate a lot of that pace because they have this lead. The Lina in particular can make a lot of moves now. Stormstormer going for Boots of Travel, so he can join whenever Rasmus does see an opportunity. He can drop the book down. They use the bots in. They can set up a lot of global ganks now.
I like that idea. Definitely makes sense. Gilgir is being chased after a little bit. Cozy snatches up the rune. He looks like he's probably going to die for this, though, but is bringing a lot of attention to him. Yeah, he took the bottom one and then was able to top lane, though. Stormstormer showing off those boots of travel. Has the Laguna Blade. Zip Zapper just can't do anything here. Too much damage as now continue farming up the lane and could even go for a little tower shove if they like.
I love these Boots of Travel choices. More item that's been getting much more popularized right now, but this works really well when they're playing with this Enigma as Rasmus. Thought he might just cast the black hole there, but he's waiting. He's just holding. Okay, he is gonna do it.
Nope. That gives him gives him a kill, you know? That poor ogre.
Might as well
and the middle lane, down goes Void Spirit.
Uh-oh. And yeah.
It begins.
This is where things are really tough. The Nyx Assassin is always going to make the Void Spirit's game hard. The Lina lane is going to make it hard. And now they're just going to be under a lot of pressure. It's going to be Tidehunter who has to defend these towers and set up. But he's still at risk of dying. This isn't an unkillable Tide. He's playing versus the Nyx, who now has Vendetta. So you've got to break. And there's just a killer amount of burst damage. These next few moments are going to be really crucial for them not to just completely lose their whole control of the map on the side of Meta4Pro.
Oh, hold that thought. The Shadow Shaman drops the wards. In comes Zip Zapper. We'll go in with the Ravage. And now they just chase after Rasmus here, who does not have the black hole, but he's not going to be able to. The LSA over on the side. It's so beautiful to take down Rasmus. They're looking at Fishy's Love. A couple more hits will do the trick. Now Gilgir taking a lot of damage, does have his own Spike Carapace. They managed to get him out. Ricky, he's not going to be able to get this kill. Gilgir's going to survive with almost no health, as now Ace already had the reincarnation. So he needs assistance. And he's able to run away because Stormstormer already teleporting right over there. The Crystal Main's here. Look at Gilgir. He's got no health, but he has those Tranquil Boots. Goes in with the Spike Carapace. Very nice, calculated. Can they follow up with any more stuns, though? Ace considering it. They'll back off, grab themselves up an Arcane Rune, and siege the tower.
And the first Ravage, it hits on 2, but all of Hellbear Smashers turn up too quickly. They have the number advantage, and there's no way. This Ricky is not ready to fight. You know, this hero just needs a lot of time to be able to get this Battle Fury online. This is already a 6k gold lead, and problems clearly have been shown now after this laning start.
All right, so, you know, we're starting to struggle on the side of Meta4Pro. You're their coach, Fogged. What do you tell them? What do you need to do? Because it's scary, right? You've got this Lina. She's got boots of travel. She's showing up everywhere. Gilgir is doing so much just scouting the entire time, being super efficient. What do you tell them?
Sentries at entrances is one of the big ones. Sentries and obs in particular, like where they have that one right now, right above in the middle lane. They need to have that on the 2 very clear spots. Right now, I think they just kind of have to play pretty defensive. Okay. Shadow Shaman just push out the bottom lane, or the Ricky. Just have these 2 be these kind of suicides. Maybe Shadow Shaman just like scouts the side, and then they just wait for Ravage. They can't fight without Ravage at this point.
I think
it's just going to be a hard game because they're always going to have Enigma Black Hole at the time that Ravage comes up, and now they're at this humongous deficit early on. It's going to be tough for them to really do anything because they don't have easy ganks either. That's the problem with their draft is they don't have like a Nyx and a Lina that can just pair up and go for kills. Void Spirit and Shadow Shaman, it's a little bit not as reliable. You can't just burst someone down as quickly at this point in the game.
Well, they're scooping through their jungle. They figure they've got to be playing low here since they have plenty of vision in that top area. Smoke pops. Fishy's Love. Looks like he's going to be the one who tanks the gank. That's exactly who you want. But Gilgir, he's got his eyes on a bigger prize. He finds the Ricky. The break comes out. They need to go and grab him. They've got this lockdown, the Impale, the Laguna, everything. Plus some dust. Down goes low skill. And they're not going to be able to let this ogre teleport home. He also will be joining his core. Oh, no. Oh, Keptas? Gilgir? He's got his eyes on him. Look how fast Stormstormer is, though. He's trying to just get a little bit more speed, trying to find that Impale. Drops the set wards over on the side. Gilgir's taking a lot of damage, but the Spike Carapace coming in hot. Be able to go get the kill on the Nyx Assassin. But they've gone and they've used the wards there.
fully defensive Ravage and Ward usage. I don't think they're mad about that at all. Gilger's probably even happy. They just, that's their whole team fight now on the side of Meta4Pro, and it was used on their side of the map in a fully defensive position. Now they can't actually make their own aggressive move, and they have to go full defensive posture while Hellbear Smashers can do whatever they want the next 2 minutes or so. They're going to have Black Hole available. They have the Book 3 pretty much done on Rasmus. And yeah, downtime, which does not benefit Meta4Pro at all, as Ace nearly has Radiance as well. So everything kicking off for Hellbear Smashers, and Meta4Pro really stagnating.
Now, how do you feel about this Necro book getting picked up on the Enigma? Because I know one of the things that the boys really like about it, generally speaking, with a Beastmaster or with like a Lycan, is that you've got lots of auras, right? And Rasmus right now, he's just gone straight up Arcane Boots into the Necro book. Is it still just as good because you have the Eidolons as well, or?
Yeah, I love this build. It was so popular in Enigma before because also, we didn't touch on this, but it's what the reasoning was that people were doing it, is in the laning phase, the build-up. You just have amazing mana regen, and then once you get the actual items, you're able to pressure and actually be on the map rather than just being a walking black hole. His stun is actually relevant. So stun plus a Book 3 into a Riki as well. It's just got so many benefits this game.
We just love the break, the impale, and the clicks. Bye-bye, Ogre. And bye-bye, Vision.
Yep. It's just, yeah, into Riki, into this when you have map control too. It's I don't see any downside really when you're playing, when you have this type of lead and you're playing an Enigma, why not going for the Book 3? He's their push. It does so much for him. We've been mentioning, and yeah, they're collapsing super hard because they know Ravage is down. They know Shaman Wards are down. There's nothing that Meta4Pro can do right now, but just get some farm up and hope that Low Skill can finish up the Battle Fury.
Well, the Radiance is complete now for the Wraith King, so Ace is having a great time here.
He's a beast. Yeah, super far.
He's not afraid of this Tidar. I mean, you're afraid of the rest of the team showing up, but you've got your team sitting nearby, waiting patiently for like any sort of opening that they can get. Look at this. Bottom lane too, Lina. All right, she gets hexed up. Low Skill looking maybe for skill. They go, they commit the wards, but they don't grab Stormstormer. They drop the wards and they don't get anything for it. A little bit off the mark with the Impale in the top lane, but a lot of pressure being placed as now Stormstormer, again with those boots of travel, making his way over. And Spike Carapace comes out, and Stormstormer is godlike. How did this happen?
Great.
Indeed.
Just good aggression, constantly. I mean, 10k lead, 17 minutes, tier 2 taken. They can take the outpost now. Gilger will do that immediately, and they're constantly threatening. They even might start poking the high ground here with this Book 3 because it's just resummoned. They're just forcing all this reaction. And now Ricky's Battle Fury is done, so he can kind of clear out these summons with his tricks, but
the stun, they have the vision! Down goes Low Skill so quickly. That is the worst possible way to start off for the side here for Meta4Pro for this defense.
It's worst way to finally, you just get your Battle Fury and then instantly die right afterwards. As you're forced back to the base completely, Hellbear Smashers got what they came for. They put down very nice wards, actually 2 wards, just to watch the area and watch the escape. They're just continuing their dominance, not letting Meta4Pro get any space. Zactyl does have Ags, so at least he does have a bit of a power spike, but he's just playing into Nyx Assassin and so many disables. It's a really hard game for him. It's
terrifying because you don't have anyone to like. So yeah, he can zip on in, but the rest of the team, they gotta waddle their way over there. There's no really like good quick follow-up. He's really dependent on finding, any sort of pick-off, and it's very difficult because of the way that Hellbear Smashers are playing so tightly together, and you don't want to go after a Wraith King.
No, I think honestly versus this team, you might want to just ban out the Nyx Assassin. Gilger does so much. He killed, what, 5 couriers this game too? And I feel like he's put this invisible impact on the map that he's forcing them to do all these weird moves. Like bottom, he forced a Ravage and Serpent Wards, right? Like, I feel like this hero might just be too much of a thorn in their sides.
That and the supports are so poor, especially when you consider that it was never going their way in the first place. So the fact that they have to constantly be buying dust, buying sentries, just clinging to their cores as well, so that way they don't end up just feeding. Like it's amazing the impact of the Nyx just alone.
Yeah, and he ruins your mid pool as well. Like whatever hero your mid player wants to play, it's probably gonna be just worse off because of that. And Meta4Pro looking for a move here, Gilger.
Immediately they drop the wards, and maybe they'll be able to go and finish up over here on Gilger. They're not looking like they've been able to do it though. One more hit. All right, finally they'll take him down. Kepta's already to fall. Zactyl next, and there's just not enough survivability. The Crystal Maiden just lets it go out on the side. Ricky's still alive, though, over on the back lines. They need to try to find him. Rasmus on the hunt. Can they find him? Black Hole comes out. They'll be able to go and grab up this Tide Hunter. Low Skill trying to run away. They don't realize that he's there. A couple pings, though. Do have a little bit of vision thanks to those Necro Bucks, but... This
On
is...
to the next one, I believe.
Yeah. Low Skill, why are you still there? Now they're just playing with their food.
I think Meta4Pro knows as well. Low Skill literally just went in when he could have gone back at no HP, tried to go for a kill.
Misery looks so happy there. Sorry, Rasmus.
Yeah.
Rasmus. Gotta get used to that.
Is he officially changing it to his real name?
He's officially changing it to Rasmus because he didn't want to be associated with a lot of negativity. Okay, all right. That's a nice quick pickoff. That's what we need. But the problem is now Ace is here. He's going to grab the bounty rune up from underneath his nose. And then he just walks away. And
I like the name Misery.
Has disconnected. You liked Misery?
It's been Misery for 15 years.
That's true, yeah. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to reinvent yourself.
That's true. I mean, Kyle is now Kyle instead of Swindle Melons too. So
that was a good upgrade.
that was a good upgrade though. I liked Misery, but you know what? We all called him Rasmus anyway. For a very
that's his
long
name.
time.
It makes sense.
It does, I guess. I call a lot of other players their in-game names though.
Would you ever change your name from Fogged to just Giannis?
No, because nobody can say my name.
But that might be very funny and very interesting, like Vicious Love. I can't pronounce that name. You know? Makes for a good talking point, especially during these long pauses that we might have because of connection issues. Thanks, Stormstormer. Stormstormer found that entertaining.
He did. This is just rough. There's nothing really they can do. I was like hopeful for maybe some type of Ravage combos or something, but yeah, this one just it's impossible for them to bring back just from drafting.
Is Vicious Love? Is he playing from an internet cafe? Did you see the background? Yeah. He's got like a big LG thing behind him and...
He might be. Maybe that's just how his room looks.
It could be, yeah.
He's just got it decked out.
He's got a big LG thing on his wall, maybe. All right, well. Hellbear Smash is firmly in the driver's seat of this game right here, right now. And Meta4Pro struggling to kind of keep up. And ZipZapper's kind of the only one who can be this forward and out of the base, it feels like. It's too dangerous. Look at Gilgear, he saw that courier. He was like, oh, baby. Another one to add to my wall.
The thing is, they even have to stay near ZipZapper, because if the Nyx Assassin breaks him and they all follow up, he's just going to die without getting his spells off either. Ravage is still on cooldown.
All right, there's the opening. Followed up with the stun, with the Laguna Blade. Gilgear is going to be able to get the final hit off. And Zactyl is not exactly there anymore.
Frame perfect by Stormstormer.
Yeah, look at this guy. He is just on the hunt, waits for the stun from Ace, and just clicks him down. They just can't walk out of their base at this point. They need to just stay home, you know. Be like us all, right? You try to stay home when you can. Wash your hands a lot. Wear a mask, etc., etc.
They need to wash their hands and rinse this game away from themselves for sure.
Ooh, burn.
Low skill. He literally has had the battle fear for a couple minutes. They just can't get anything.
He can't hit creeps. He's got this battle fear. Oh, okay, all right.
Oh my God, he's scanned. He gets the courier, but
and it's
I think they might find him.
Oh, they definitely know where he is.
The book 3's chasing him. It's giving vision for a second.
I don't think you care. You're in the Roche pit. You're having the time of your life. I mean, that might be the best kill that low skill gets this game, is killing the assassin of all of the couriers. It has been a very rough game for this Ricky.
Somehow has to farm multiple items. It's just impossible. He just can't. He needs like 3 more items. If he was able to somehow get it, I could see a hope, but...
It's a hard knock like for him, but... You know, they're still hanging in there. They're trying their best. Every game matters, obviously.
And the best ones are when you come back from a 20K deficit, but...
I mean, some of the best moments in our Dota, like, history are... Okay, maybe. Nope, look at this. Immediately, the teleports are coming in. Silence coming out. BKB coming out from Stormstormer. Just manages to go, lands the stun. Thinks about going back in for like half a second here, forces out the tricks of the trade. In comes the Enigma, Rasmus. Trying to get in position, does have the black hole. But it looks like Meta4Pro, it's like you said, they don't want to be here. It's Ace. So he had his eyes over onto Zacta for a moment.
They're all swooping.
Late. Gilgear getting into position, though, has Spike Carapace, walks right into it, tries to give them a little bit more time. They'll be able to use the Frostbite over on the side. Vicious Love taking too much damage. This is looking like a very dead Void Spirit as the Ravage comes out, but maybe just a little bit too late because Gilgear does fall. This Crystal Maiden is just hunting down a Void Spirit. That is not something you want to see. Plus the Black Hole coming out, the icing on the cake. And now we just have this Tide Hunter trying to run away, and it's not looking good for him. It's taken a little bit of time, but they're going to eventually get the kill.
Gilgear just the sacrificial lamb for absolute success for his team.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, especially watching this game. They cannot let him get this Nyx.
Yeah, right.
It does too much.
I feel like it's just doing way too much. It's the little things that he's really doing. It's like the courier kills matter a lot in the early game too. He got 3. All these little things definitely do matter. It just restricts your game and your pool, and as you mentioned, makes your supports absolutely poor and makes them play different games. So I think that's at least a step 1 to going toward the right direction, because even though that is a big problem, Hellbear Smashers have looked a lot more concrete in their plays throughout the tournament so far. And Meta4Pro, it's not like they've looked bad, so I think they can still they can come back with another strategy versus this one and have a better shot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's getting rough.
For sure. That and like the fact that like the conscious decisions and timing coming out from Gilgear too, with just, the Spike Carapace. You see the Void Spirit throwing out that Aether Remnant, and he's trying to, use it on someone else, but Gilgear just turns around, he's like, oh, really? Turns around, goes over there, Spike Carapace, ends up stunning him, and then they can follow up with all of their other stuns. Man, stuns win games.
Especially when you're playing versus Void Spirit. I love to see those type of drafts where everyone has a disable for him. Zip Zapper, quickly annihilated.
Yep. Nothing he can do there. They'll follow up with another stun. It's another kill. They have the beacon. Gilgear is just making... I don't even think he's making space. Look, that he uses the bullwhip on himself, turns around, gets a double stun. The best Nyx players always hit multiple heroes. It's never just one here. The GG gets called. They've had enough, and you know what? I think that is the best call.